how do you do counts and averages using LINQ? So let's have a look at this code where we have students over here. So we got Ali, Sarah, John, Zara, Tom. And what we want is for their classes, so maths, science, and history, we want to work out what is the total number of students in, for example, math, total number in history, total number in science, and also work out the average mark for them. So this is quite easy to do by using LINQ. So what we first want to do is we want to group the items by class. So just imagine in Excel, we are trying to pivot and group the items by the class here, which is maths, science, and history. Once we have that, then what we want to do is using the select method, we pass whatever we had out of the previous group by method. So we want to pass this into the next one, which is pass into this lambda operator. And then we are creating an anonymous object. The reason it's anonymous is because it's not based on a class type. Instead, we are defining the properties within here. So you can see class name we are saying is g.key. So this g.key is basically referring to the key that we have. So for example, here is the class. That's what we're grouping it by. So this becomes the key. So history, science, and math become the key in this instance. Then for each key, whether it be history, science, or math, we want to do count on the same variable that we got here, which is the group variable. And then we also want to do average. But for average, we want to define what should be done or calculated as the average or which column. So what we are doing is we are selecting the individual student within the specific group. So math, science, and history. And then we are taking the marks column in that specific group and working out what the average score is across that specific group of class. So this is going to generate a new class object for you. And then what we'll do is we'll simply loop through that group and the results that we have and print out the class name, which we defined here, the student count, which we defined here, and the average marks, which we defined here. So if I run this code here, and you can see that we've got our math class here, and we've got a count of 2 and average mark, and same with history. History, since it only has one student in it, so the only score we had was 88, and that's the score over here. So the average is also 88 because there is only one student. So I hope this makes sense. So essentially, to get a count, you can use the anonymous object here using the new keyword, define what you want. So we want the class name to appear, and then we want the student count and the average marks as well. And then we can loop through the results.